what you want. I don't got no time to talk, baby, don't you make it difficult. I don't bite, but I might if you tell me what you like. Don't you know it's only physical?
Lovely to meet you, first of all, obviously. Do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you first got into music?
Well, I was born in Chicago. My family's from Poland, and my mom had a music school growing up. So I always said that my family had me choose between my spending time with my mom or my dad, because we couldn't afford a babysitter at the time. So my dad had a mechanic shop, an auto shop, and my mom had a music school. So I was like, I think I'll rather go to the music school. So that's where my passion for music started. I would hop from lesson to lesson, annoying all the teachers, and just really realizing that music is what I want to do with my life. And then I moved to LA literally right when I turned 18. I told my family, I'm like, whether you support me or not, I'm going. And thankfully I have amazing parents who really, really supported me every step of the way, and it wasn't really up for discussion. And I've lived there for 5 years now. Now I'm going in between Europe, specifically Poland and LA, making music out there, and then just performing basically all over now. So yeah.
Obviously, you said you spent a lot of your childhood in a music school, but are there any other like earliest musical memories that stick out in particular for you?
Probably me having my band when I was 12 was the earliest memory. My mom's school, like I said, I spent a lot of time there, and I knew that I wanted to start a band, and I was 12, which is very young, and I don't know where that confidence came from, but I pulled aside all of my favorite students from the school, and we formed a rock band. And I just remember for the first time stepping on stage, and I was like, oh my God, this feels amazing. And I think also my parents really saw that passion and that fire in me, and the fact that I would literally put everything on hold and would make so many sacrifices as a kid that usually wouldn't happen. Like, I really did not care about, parties and things like that would typically matter to, a young kid. I just wanted to perform and make music. So I think just overall being in that band really started the journey for me. And it was probably my earliest memory of just music in general and what it can do to a person. So yeah.
You mentioned it was a rock band, and obviously your stuff now sort of it's a good mix of a little bit of everything, but it does lean more into the pop side of things. And I've also seen that you've performed in quite a few like jazz bars and things like that. How did you settle on the sound of the music that you've put out now when you've done so much, like a massive variety of different things? What made you go down the path that you've gone down?
I don't think I'm ever gonna really settle on one sound. I think for me it's important to mix every single thing that I've experienced and have learned throughout my career and just like my life as an artist. But I think pop music is just something that I feel really connected to, but I also want little influences of my rock days and my R&B days and my soul days, and just going into a session, having that in my back pocket and knowing that I can use it and bring it into, a session or any collaborative state that I'm in is important to me. And who knows, maybe I can do a rock album one day. I never want to settle and put myself into a box, but right now I just am so inspired by pop music, and I think currently we are experiencing such an amazing era of women in pop music with Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan and Dua Lipa and like so many amazing, powerful women that I'm just so inspired by. And yeah, I think that's just where I'm at right now. But who knows? I don't know where I'm gonna be in a year or 5 years, but we'll see.
I also noticed in a lot of your covers that you post on your social media, you are playing bass. I play bass myself, so I find that quite interesting. And also in your music that you've got out, for me, I mean, I've always experienced music. I've grown up with music. I've studied it. I just pick out loads of different things and songs. And for me, I think in your music, the bass line is something that's specifically prominent, not only in the mix of the song, but in the way it's written and used instrumentally. You can really see your rock influences, R&B, jazz, all of that. That's for me the key in your music that shows that you draw so much in. But is there any particular reason that you chose to play bass over another instrument?
Also, first of all, I love that you play bass. I love I hear any girl or woman tell me that she plays bass. It's the coolest thing ever. But I think that's part of the reason that I started is when I started my rock band, it was really hard to find a bass player. And I remember just trying to find one, and it was really hard. And I told the band director at the time, I was like, well, I can do it. And he was like, no, girls will play bass. And I was like, what? And it made me want to play it even more. And I was 12 or 13 at the time. So the fact that I even just thought that at that young of an age, I'm so proud of myself, first of all, because first of all, I hate when men tell us, anything, like don't tell me to do anything. But second of all, I'm just glad that I picked up that instrument specifically, because not only is it a dope instrument to play and it's so fun, but also I feel like, now it's becoming more normal, but at the time, especially as a 12-year-old girl, when the bass was bigger than me, it almost like had sort of like a little, it was saying something without actually saying something, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just so happy that that was like one of the first instruments that I started playing, because it was just a cool way to break those gender norms in a way.
Girls that play bass are badass, so we need more girls playing bass. You were also on American Idol. What was your experience with it like?
It was the biggest lesson that I could have experienced. I really went into it with zero expectations. Anytime I do something like that, or I release a song, I really, really try to not even set my expectations low, but just have no expectations and just take the experience in as it is. I think that's just the best way just to deal with anything, you know what I mean? But I went into it very, I didn't expect to win. I just wanted to go into it to experience it and see what happens. And I think the main thing is I was just so blessed to be surrounded by so many amazing vocalists and artists, and I learned so much from them. And I learned so much from the judges. I had like a really great relationship with Lionel Richie on the show, which is such a cool thing to experience. And yeah, and like it was cool to get into the finale, but especially mainly because I got to be on the show for such a long time. It taught me so much about just preserving your voice and being ready at any hour of the day. They put you through so many weird and crazy, loopholes. They connect you with people that they know it's going to be difficult. And like, they just like do certain things that obviously challenge you and put you in difficult situations, which obviously is going to happen in the real world. It was cool to experience. And I have so many lessons that I learned that I've just put into my everyday life and my career now. It was an amazing experience.
Obviously you said they did push you whilst you were on the show, but did you find that there was like a big jump or a difficult transition coming out of the show and then going back to almost doing things in your own way, your own pace, going from performing covers to then you know, releasing your own music. That's a massive jump in itself.
I mean, it's crazy because once the show is televised, it kind of happens very quickly, but we start filming months in advance. It just takes up your whole entire life, and you have no other life outside of just Idol. You live with these people, you are filming morning to night, and then, you know, you get eliminated and you're like, wait, I have like freedom again. I can do whatever I want, because you're so used to just waking up and doing things for the show. And you, even if you want to plan something around it, like I tried to plan a session around just while I was on Idol, and it fell through because you just have to be on call at all times. The biggest transition was just being like, okay, wait, what do I do now? Like, I don't have a schedule set for me like I've had for the past few months. And it was definitely really weird. And even just watching the show after, there was like a few more, I don't know, there's like 4 or 5 more episodes after I left, and I was just watching and I'm like, was I on this show? Like, what is happening? It was cool. It was definitely weird. Like I had like a little, not like a mental breakdown, but I was just like, oh my God, what do I do with my life now? But I quickly got back into the rhythm of things, and it was cool to just release music and play shows and just get back into like my everyday life. But even though my life kind of changed afterwards, so getting back to the normal life, but also, you know, taking the new things that are presented. So it was interesting.
Since then, you've released a few songs. Your latest single, Kiss Kiss, has just come out.
Yes.
Very recently. So first we'll talk about bass. The bass line in that is phenomenal. It just scratches my brain in the right way. Do you want to tell us a little bit about you know, the creation of the song and the inspiration behind it?
As a bass player, you catch on to these things, but I basically went into my session and I had this bass line in mind. I was just playing around with some different bass melodies, and this one stuck out to me. I came into it with like a voice memo of it. I just basically wanted a fun song for the girls. And it was very easy to write. I have an amazing team, Ryan, Miles, and Nicole. We've made so many songs together now at this point. This was actually the first one that we wrote together, and it was just super fun, effortless. We literally just had so much fun in the studio. Like, I just reminisce those days, and it was just so much fun to make. It's just all about the power that a girl has in just one kiss. And it doesn't even have to be a kiss, but it could be like a look or touch or whatever it is. It's just, you know, owning that confidence and that power and just kind of flipping the script, because usually I feel like men are the ones that are like, you know, saying that they're players or they have all these. It's like, no, the girl can mess around your life a little bit and then just walk away and laugh. Just this fun anthem of just, you know, having fun, being a girl.
Is there any particular lyric from the song that sticks out for you?
The part that sticks out to me that I love is the hook where it like goes up melodically. Got you where I want you at the wrong thing with this. It like rubs something in my brain. I'm like, oh, I love that. I think that's like my favorite part. And I guess lyrically too, it just all goes well together, and I love that.
Your sense of fashion is incredible. How do you find your way to combine your musical style and your fashion style to create a cohesive thing for you?
I'm just honestly having fun and playing around with different styles, and I have an amazing stylist who is actually one of my best friends, so it's just fun to play around with different looks. And sometimes she'll put me in things and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not wearing that. And she's like, no, you have to wear it. So it's cool to have like a friend that also kind of pushes your boundaries. And I just literally any sort of creative thing that I can do and I can express myself in any creative way or form, I just want to dive into it and have fun with it. And fashion is one of those things. And I think that even going back to Idol, that's something that I think kind of set me like a little apart from others, is that I really try to think about everything, like just the overall artist, you know. And I think that fashion is such a big part of that, because if we look at, you know, all the amazing pop girls out right now, it's like they have such like key defining elements in their fashion and their look. I mean, we could look at Chapel and even now Sabrina with all of her like glitzy and glammy things. And I, you know, I think through experience and through just having fun with the process is hopefully I can find that thing for me. And I remember in high school, like everyone wore the same Lululemon leggings and Uggs and North Face jacket. And it's like, I wish I could tell my younger self, like, don't do it. Like, do whatever makes you happy. And what, like, being different is so cool. And it's just so much better. Stop dressing like everyone else is dressing and just do what feels good to you and what feels authentic to you.
Excuse me, that's great. And you know, we've mentioned you know, the major pop girlies at the moment. Sabrina, Chapel, all of them doing brilliant things.
Yes.
Are there any other, you know, musical influences that you have, whether they're current or past musical influences?
I grew up listening to like a lot of Radiohead, Fiona Apple. I mean, now I'm also very inspired by all the pop girls, but love Olivia Rodrigo. I seriously love so many different artists, and I even country music, which has been so inspiring to me. And especially now, I've been listening to so much of it because I've been in Europe for a little over a month now, and sometimes when I get homesick, I play some country. Chris Stapleton is literally one of my biggest influences. He just stands on stage and commands a whole room, and he doesn't need any background dancers. He literally dresses like however he wants. Teddy Swims is another amazing example. But yeah, I really try to, you know, listen to such a crazy variety of music just so I can bring all those influences into my music and into my creative process.
So what is next for you? Like how big is 2025 and the years to come gonna be?
I am so excited for 2025. I mean, we just released the latest single, which is really exciting, but we are definitely gonna release more music. I have been in the studio for so many months now and just have so many demos lined up that I can't wait to release. Bop around in Europe and do a bunch of shows, and just being open to traveling and working outside of just what I'm used to in Los Angeles, which is, I think I'm like so excited about. Overall, 2025 is just the year of just actually releasing what I've been working on. I think it's just time to actually put it out into the world. So I'm excited. And yeah, I have all of my 2025 goals written down, and I'm excited to see what I'm gonna, you know, check off at the end of the year.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, everyone keep their eye out because good things are gonna come.